Well, 22 years ago, Somali-born Ilhan Omar was living in a refugee camp in Kenya. Now she has her sights set on the Minnesota State House of Representatives after a successful primary election campaign that has her positioned to make history in the United States. VOA's Farabaugh has our report.
33-year-old Ilhan Omar is confident and unapologetic.
Being unapologetic about being Muslim, being black, being an immigrant and refugee.
She is a newcomer to Minnesota politics and has come a long way since fleeing Somalia as a young girl.
The little girl in that refugee camp, 22 years ago, was very much interested in survival, in the day-to-day. I don't think she could dream about this grand dream and plan.
Omar's grand plan to successfully win an election for a seat in the Minnesota House of Representatives in a liberal district in Minneapolis seemed like a long shot, says University of Minnesota political science professor Lawrence Jacobs.
From afar, Ilhan Omar had everything going against her. She was a Muslim in a state that's predominantly Christian. She's black in a state that is among the whitest states in the country. She was a woman where women are not well represented in the legislature. She was an immigrant in a state that doesn't have a lot of immigrants.
There are about 25,000 Somali-Americans in Minneapolis, many of them refugees like Omar. A majority of them supported another member of the diaspora, Mohammed Noor. He was one of two other viable challengers Omar faced in the primary election.
Coming from a community that usually sees leadership as a man's role, that played a huge part in creating a lot of difficulties.
So she reached outside the diaspora and campaigned to win the support of other voters, including college students like Patrick English.
On the issues, we align in a lot of ways and care about the same things.
English not only cast a ballot, he joined Omar's campaign and spread the word among other students in the district. Omar's outreach worked. It was enough total votes to give Omar the win, defeating longtime legislator Phyllis Kane, who had held the seat since the 1970s.
Yes, we did.
Omar is now positioned to win the general election November 8th without a Republican challenger in the race. If she is successful, when Omar walks through the doors of the Minnesota State Capitol for the new legislative session that begins in January, she will make history as the first female Muslim-American immigrant lawmaker in the United States.
The weight of it, I think it's huge.
Kane, Farabaugh, VOA News, Minneapolis, Minnesota.